Welcome back to my channel, y'all. Today we are getting into Real Housewives of Potomac reunion part one. And I must say, Dr. Wendy, aka Pam Oliver, is the moment. And if this is her last reunion, she is going out with a bang. Okay? Wendy looks great. Face is chiseled. She is sitting at that reunion stage looking stunning. So we're going to get into it and all of the things. So let's jump right in. The episode opens up with Eddie and Wendy talking about their felony and fraud charges. One thing I must say, Wendy had some amazing renovations done on that house. One thing I noticed, there was gold everywhere. Gold knobs, gold sink, accents. The walls inside was nice. It looked like they had got some new paint. I said, let me tell you something. If Eddie and Wendy was stealing them people's insurance money, they definitely need to put it to use in that house. The other thing that took me out, woo, I said, how have I been watching Potomac so long and I have not seen that RHOP on Wendy's hand? Wendy's ring, I don't know if that's the ring that's also in their criminal case, because they said that she like filed a fake insurance claim on her wedding ring. But my God, today, that ring was huge. Her wedding ring is huge. Huge, 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 huge. But we see them talking about their case, talking about them getting arrested. Eddie starts tearing up about his daughter. That was really sad to see them talking about their kids and kind of crying and getting emotional, and just all of the things. And one thing I got to call out, and I noticed this the whole episode, I noticed that Wendy was talking in this anytime she's talking about the fraud charges, the arrest, she's getting asked questions. She immediately puts on like this baby voice, like Wendy's talking in this soft, calm baby voice. And I'm not used to that because I don't think I've ever seen Wendy talk like that since she's been on the show. So I said, Wendy, what's going on here with this? Um, some other things that stood out in that scene with Wendy and Eddie talking about their fraud charges was when Wendy asked Eddie, do you basically think that we're going to make it in this marriage? Like, do you think this is going to affect our marriage? And Eddie seemed very positive and more confident that, like, we've been together for 15 years. We got to trust God and we're going to get through it. But Wendy was like, well, this is going to change me forever. I'm never going to be the same. And I hope that you're okay about it. And what stood out to me, I was like, wait, so Wendy, are you kind of signaling that like this might be Eddie's fault and that if push come to shove, you might flip on him? I don't know. All alleged. These are my thoughts, my opinion. But that just stood out to me about her making the marriage comment and like, could their marriage withstand this trial and what's happening to them? And it almost made me think like, did Eddie put you guys in this situation and you're going down? Who knows? They're on trial. I think they go to court in April or March. So more details will come out about their case soon. She also talks about their son at the reunion finding out about their arrest on Instagram. And that broke me. I felt so bad. I feel so bad for her kids because I feel like, regardless of what you think about Pam Oliver and Eddie Hennessy, the kids are going to be affected. I'm sure that their classmates, people at school, just people in the community are probably talking about them. And I'm sure that has to be hard for their oldest son, who seems like he's a preteen, if not teenager by now. But definitely in that opening scene with Eddie and Wendy, talking basically, I think it was like a few days after their arrest, they still give me Bonnie and Clyde energy, like they're gonna ride this out together till the sunset. So we're just gonna have to stay tuned and see how the case goes. All right, let's talk about reunion day. First off, can we talk about Wendy's entrance at the reunion? Can we talk about it? Wendy hopped out of that black Escalade or whatever car it was in an all white fur outfit. I said, and Wendy, wait a minute, wait a minute. I know you're not coming out here with a completely angelic look when you know you got 47 felony charges hanging over your head. You better. And then immediately changed into that old nasty red outfit with the fur coat. or her feather little ensemble throw over. Wendy looked good. And what cracked me up is you got Giselle and Ashley talking in that scene about, oh, how's Wendy gonna show up today? And Ashley's like, I'd be a nun. And you just see Wendy hop out the car in that white fur. I said, one thing Wendy said she's gonna do, if this is my last reunion, is this is my last time on this show because I might be locked up when they start taping, I'm at least gonna go out looking good and with a bit. This is the best Wendy has ever looked. So Wendy pulls up to the reunion. We see all the ladies come out as usual. She makes a grand entrance to the stage with her red fur. She looks so damn good from head to toe, face chiseled. I love that Stacey and Wendy were sitting next to Andy this year, which made sense. I feel like a lot of the season was really about Stacey and Angel with Wendy sprinkled in. Y'all let me know, who do you think was your best dressed? Let me know in the comments. It's clearly Wendy for me. Um, a lot of the ladies look nice, but Wendy's look was just sickening to me. So Andy kicks off the reunion. He's talking about Wendy's charges, her night in jail. And I really think she did a good job answering the questions, given the case is still open. I give her a lot of credit for showing up. Many housewives don't even show up to the reunion for a lot less serious charges or even cases. A lot just show up because they don't want to have to talk about what they displayed or what happened in the season or conflict. So I feel like well done to Wendy, her PR team, and her lawyer who prepped her for this reunion because she was definitely prepped. She was answering those questions calm, cool, and collective. Anyone notice that Kiana's face was kind of scrunched up where she kept making faces and like dramatic reactions every time Wendy was talking to Andy? I noticed that. I thought that was weird. Also, as I mentioned earlier, pay attention as we continue to watch the reunion to Wendy and those soft baby voices she makes. The cast to me, and even some of the fans, I think a lot of people want to see Wendy cry or show some type of emotion or just seem more emotional, more down, all of that. But I really don't think that Wendy can do that because if she does, she'll look guilty. And maybe the prosecution can use that against her in court. So I think she's really trying to hold her composure to really maintain that not guilty plea that she put in. And deep down inside, I do think her and Eddie are terrified. They're facing 15 years in prison. If they go to prison, their name is ruined. It will affect their kids. It will affect their reputation. It will affect their businesses in any Nigerian communities they're in. They finna shun them because Nigerians already got the name around town that they already scammers, allegedly. So it's just not going to be good for them. I'm sure she's terrified deep down, but I give her credit for showing up to the reunion and staying composed. The other things that happened, we see Stacey who be lying, like Mia be lying, Stacey be lying. Stacey finally confesses that Timo didn't want to meet Wendy and Eddie, but she still didn't want to apologize to Tia for calling her a liar, basically. So her and Tia go at it. It's safe to say that I don't think Tia and Stacey are going to be friends anytime soon. I don't expect if Tia comes back to see that relationship blossom next season. Stacey also called Tia Giselle Tia's master. And I just got a key out of that. Giselle tried to say Wendy was Stacey's master, which I completely disagree with. I feel like Stacey definitely can hold her own even outside of Wendy. And we don't really see that kind of relationship throughout the season. So Giselle, please save it. Um, but Stacey got her with that when she said, the only reason why you came around me and my husband and my daughter and talked to me the whole season was to get information to run it back to your master. That was funny. Tia also said some little slick comments to Stacey. She alluded that like Stacey married up to her German husband, like because she married a German man, she married up and she uses her QVC voice because she wants to be prim and proper. And I was just like, ew, Tia, that just comes off as so uppity and so pretentious. Like people change their voice and lingo all the time in different settings. So that was just really a low blow to me, not really a good read. She also said that Stacey thinks her being well traveled and her always talking about that she's gone somewhere and been to all these different countries is a big accomplishment. Like, Stacey, you really think you're doing something because you've traveled? Excuse me? A lot of people don't even leave their backyard. They don't even go to another city in their state. So yes, traveling the world is an accomplishment because a lot of people in this lifetime don't get to do it. Tia, not really a fan of you. So her and Stacey have a little spat on the stage around that. I don't really like the married up comment. I don't really know what she's trying to get out with there. That was whack to me completely. And then Chris Samuels comes up. I want y'all to take note. Anyone notice that anytime Chris Samuels comes up, even during this season, Stacey gets squirmish. She starts looking nervous. It looks like I can see her heart pumping and beating through her chest, like she's about to get caught in a lie. So I think Monique comes on in part two. I can't wait to see how she handles that. And if we're finally going to catch her in a lie with this whole she did go on a date with Chris Samuels thing. And I do agree with Stacey. I feel like Tia, I want to see you be more independent in thought. I feel like you agree with everything Giselle says. You don't push back on anything. Your opinions and your actions always seem to just more so align with Giselle. One more thing I want to add about Stacey. I want us to see Stacey take more accountability. Like when you do something wrong, Stacey, or if you lie about something, or if you did spin the truth a bit, just own it. I feel like even though Stacey doesn't like Tia, she can just own that in that moment. Own that you were trying to make Tia seem like a liar by not just acknowledging that you told her your husband was going to be out of town, but he really wasn't. He just didn't want to go to the couples dinner with y'all. Like, I just want to see Stacey own stuff a little bit more and not beat around the bush or make things up or, you know, and just like say things and then kind of spin it around and only to turn back around and confess to us. Like, Stacey, stop that. Just own that moment. Own when you do something, and then I think everyone can move on. I do know that the cast is always coming for her, and I feel like they come for her unnecessarily about a lot of these like petty little lies and petty things when they've all lied. But I do feel like Stacey needs to own stuff when she does something wrong. So that is that on that. Moving right along. Angel gets brought up in her package, and we finally get to see Angel speak up for herself. So, claps for Angel. We're finally happy to see Angel speak up for herself. She struggled the whole season with that, of confronting issues head on when they happen. And Angel confronts Giselle and Ashley and Wendy about the catfish comments. We get to see her apologize to Wendy for thinking that she said the catfish stuff. She also lets Wendy know, I did have a lot of dip on my chip for you. I was coming at you hard and it was kind of misdirected anger. So I did like to see her own up to that and take accountability. Andy also asked a question to Angel. It was in regards to Wendy. And then we see Kiana kind of jump in and get snippy and kind of cut her off so that she could speak in the moment. I just thought that was weird. I didn't like it at all. Like, Kiana, you could have waited. It was not that deep. I just was not a fan. I think Kiana's beautiful, beautiful gowns, but I don't really feel like she's bringing a lot to the show or that we're seeing a lot of her. And I feel like every time we do, it just comes off as like rude or mean or angry or just, I don't know. Again, beautiful gowns, beautiful lady, but not really seeing it for her on this show. Another key to me, and that was a hoot this reunion, was when they talked about how Angel said, Wendy looks like Forrest Whitaker, so she has Forrest Whitaker eyes and asshole lips. Wendy said, well, what if I say you look like James Earl Jones? I said, not today. Wendy, please. And then the people already ran down to Twitter to do the side by side. And I said, my gosh, Angel, no, you do look like James Earl Jones. Please stop this. I cannot unsee that now. I cannot unsee it. So that is just a mess. Like, no way. I said, this is too much, too much. The reunion wraps up with Ashley getting called out about her jokes on Wendy's arrest and how she treats the cast, mainly how she treated like Stacey and Angel. Andy was reading out fan questions. And, Ashley apologizes to Wendy about the comments. Wendy kind of asks her, like, why? Like, why did you feel the need to make those comments? And Ashley pretty much says, when you came on the show, you kind of acted like you were better than us, talking about yourself and your degrees and your accomplishments. And Wendy was basically like, hey, how you feel about me says more about how you feel about yourself than it does about me. And Ashley was like, well, I don't vilify my accomplishments. Wendy said, well, you don't have any, babes. You have no accomplishments. And then Ashley goes, boom, drops the bomb. Well, I only have one social security number though. And if you know, Wendy's facing 47 felony fraud charges for insurance fraud with her husband. So Ashley leaves us with a bang and a cliffhanger as we head into reunion part 2. I said, oh, child, Ashley, you are lethal. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So y'all let me know if y'all think Ashley went too low with the social security comment, or is everything fair game at the reunion? I will see y'all back here for part 2 next week. I think we're going to get a Karen appearance. I know Monique is going to come on. So, yes. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video if you enjoyed it. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.